More and more companies seem to be coming out with their own versions of a credit builder card with their own unique twist. So today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite fintech companies who now offers their own version of a credit builder card, and that would be the new Varo Believe credit builder. So let's break down everything that this product has to offer and talk about what makes it different than the many other credit builder products that have recently hit the market. All right, let's jump right into it. What is going on, everyone? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. So if you haven't seen any of these credit builder products recently, then we have seen companies like Chime, Extra, and even some business fintech companies release their own credit builder products that allow you to build your credit score without the drawbacks that can and oftentimes do come with improper use of traditional credit cards. And as I've talked about in previous videos, I personally see a ton of value in this new type of product, so I'm really happy to see that Varo threw their hat in the ring and is making their own credit builder product with the new Believe credit card. So right out of the gate, I will say that this is one of the coolest credit builder cards that we have seen thus far, and it definitely beats out products like the Chime credit builder, which is just a boring green color, and in typical Varo fashion, this one has a very modern and futuristic style. So if you care about what your cards look like for whatever reason, and I know that a lot of you do care about that, then this one will definitely scratch the itch. Okay, so typically with a credit builder card, you are basically prepaying the card in some way, and then when you use it to make purchases, the card issuer is going to report that as an on-time payment and use the money that you already set aside to pay off that card, and therefore this helps build your credit score without you accruing any kind of debt or taking on any kind of interest. And the Varo Believe card is very similar, but it does have a few minor differences from the Chime credit builder card that I'm personally a huge fan of. First of all, from what I can tell, you do not need to have a Varo bank account in order to fund this card, and you should be able to fund it from any kind of external bank accounts. If that changes, then someone please let us know down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to pin that comment. But if that remains true, then for some of you that might be a huge advantage, because with something like the Chime credit builder card, you have to have the Chime savings account, which oftentimes means you also have the Chime spending accounts, and then once you have those products, you can go ahead and apply for their credit builder card. So the fact that with this product you do not necessarily need to be banking with Varo in order to use their credit builder card is actually really nice in my opinion. So once you open up your Varo Believe secured account, you'll be able to preload this card with a predetermined amount of money from your external bank account. Then, like I mentioned earlier, you're just going to use this product as you would with any other credit or debit card to pay for your regular everyday purchases. And from there, you can simply use the money that you already set aside to pay off that balance, and therefore Varo is going to report that as an on-time payment to the three major credit bureaus, which are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and as a result, your credit score is going to start increasing very quickly, especially if you have no credit or bad credit history, because your on-time payment history is the most important factor in calculating your credit score. So one other important difference that's worth noting here from similar products is that you do still have to manually make a payment, whereas with something like the Chime credit builder, that happens automatically. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it does build up that habit of going in and making sure that you are paying off that balance in full on time every time. And I know that might seem like a little bit of a headache, but I do actually see the purpose of this, because if you do decide to get a true credit card down the road, then you will have already built up that habit of making sure you go into the app and pay it off in full and don't miss that payment, because if you do that with a real credit card, then not only are you going to accrue interest and fees, but that is going to be very bad for your credit score. Now, speaking of fees, this product is completely free to use, and obviously there's no way to accrue debt, and therefore you're never going to accrue any kind of interest. But I will mention that there is a $15 late fee if you don't make your payment on time, and again, I get that that absolutely sucks, and you all know that I am not a fan of any kind of banking fee, but because this is a trainer card in a small sense, I do actually see the purpose behind that small fee, because again, if you were to miss a payment on a real credit card, then in most cases you would be slapped with a much higher fee than $15, and you'd have all those other penalties and interest, and it would be bad for your credit score. Plus, as long as you were using this card properly and making those payments on time and building up those healthy spending habits, then you're not going to get hit with that $15 fee, and therefore it doesn't really matter. So if you have to set 10 reminders in your phone to make sure that you don't miss a payment, then by all means go for it. But I did just want to let you know that if you do forget to make a payment on the Varo Believe card, then they are going to charge you a $15 fee. But outside of that, you don't have any kind of annual fee, and like I said, you cannot accrue interest or debt. It's literally impossible, and there isn't even a hard credit check in order to apply for this card, meaning applying for this product does not have any negative impact on your credit score. And there's also no security deposit, and that's because this is not a secured credit card and is really in an entire category on its own. So if you've ever had a secured credit card before, then you know that essentially you give the credit card company a few $100s and they give you a credit card that has a limit of a few $100s, and that's a very common way for people to get beginner credit card products like the Discover It card, for example. But I want to clarify that the Varo Believe card is again not a secured credit card and therefore does not have any kind of security deposit, which in my opinion is a huge benefit because you don't have to front any money in order to get it. Now, one question that I do frequently get with these credit builder products is, what is your credit limit? And the very simple answer is that there is no credit limit, at least not in a traditional sense. However much money you preload on this card is the amount that you were able to spend. So if you preload it with $10, then you can spend up to $10. If you preload it with $10,000, then you can spend up to $10,000. It's really all in your hands, but as far as a hard credit limit that is set by the credit card company, you are not going to have anything like that, which again, in my opinion, is kind of cool. But what this does mean is that Varo is not able to report a low credit utilization, which is another really important factor that makes up your credit score. So that isn't necessarily going to hurt your credit score, but it also isn't going to help. However, considering that this is really targeted for people that have very low credit scores or no credit history at all, the fact that you're just making those on-time payments is really going to help you out plenty. One other cool thing that's worth mentioning is that you can actually use this at over 55,000 free-to-use ATMs in order to withdraw cash, and not that I'm suggesting this, but hypothetically that could be a really fast and easy way to build up a ton of on-time payments without actually spending any money. So overall, this product isn't anything special in comparison to other credit builder cards, but that's really by design, and the whole point here is to be a very simple and straightforward way to build your credit without accruing debt or taking on any kind of interest or anything like that. And from my perspective, this product checks all of the boxes for that type of product. So I can't necessarily recommend this over any other product in this category because they all basically do the exact same thing, but if you do already have a Varo bank account or you're just a fan of the Varo company as a whole, then this is a fantastic product that I would definitely check out if you feel it is a good fit for your financial situation. I would love to know what you think of the Varo Believe card down in the comment section below and whether or not you plan on applying. And if you do get this credit card, then I would love to know, did it help increase your credit score? As always, if you did get value out of this content and you want to help support me, the easiest way to do that is actually by checking out some of my favorite financial tools down in the description below, including one offer from the Point Cashback debit card that will currently give you $100 when you open your account and make your first purchase, so definitely check that out using the link down below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future, and of course, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it so much. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.